Hey everyone, welcome back. In this part, we are going to learn about operators in C++. Operators allow us to perform calculations on data, such as calculations, comparisons, and logical decisions. So an operator is a symbol that performs an action on one or more values. For example, adding numbers, comparing values, or checking conditions. So let's start with arithmetic operators, which are used for mathematical calculations. Okay, so let us take a look at these examples here. So inside our VS Code, in our file called main.cpp, we have these lines of code. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create a variable called a, and we are going to store 10 in it. From there, we are going to create another variable called b, and we are going to store 3 in it, like that. Okay, so from there, let us try to take a look at all these operators. Okay, so for example, we can try to output, we can try to create another variable, and this one is going to be c. Okay, but we are not going to initialize it at this moment. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to output our variable c, like that. Okay, like that. So what are we going to do? We are going to start taking a look at what we can do with the different arithmetic operators. Okay, so the first one is called the add. Okay, the plus sign, or the plus operator. Okay, and this one is used for addition. Okay, so let us take a look at how we can use it. So we can say that a plus b. Okay, a plus b, and this one is going to return 13, because 10 plus 3 is equals to 13. Okay, so we are going to get 13. Okay, so if we try to run this program, we are going to get 13. Don't forget to compile. Okay, first compile and then run. We're going to get 13. Okay, so from there we can also use another operator, which is called the subtraction, or the subtract operator. Okay, so we can use it like that. Okay, so we can say that a, which is 10, minus b, which is 3, and we are going to get 7. Believe me, it will be 7. Try it. Try compiling and running your program. You are going to get 7. Okay, so we have another one, which is the asterisk, or the multiplication operator. Okay, so this one we use the asterisk symbol. Okay, we don't use x, we use the asterisk symbol. Okay, so we use that one, asterisk. So 10 times 3, which is 8 times b, we are going to get 30. Okay, so we are going to get 30. Try it out. Okay, we have another one which is called the division operator. Okay, so the division operator is going to return, our answer is going to return an answer after dividing a number by a number. Okay, so if we get a, then we use for division, we use the forward slash. Okay, so we are going to get a divided by b, we are going to get 3.333, like that. Okay, but here, as you can see, c is an integer, not a float or a double. We are going to get only 3. Okay, so let us try out this one with you. Okay, so if we try to compile, let's try to compile, and from there we try to run, we are going to get 3 only. Okay, so this one, as you can see, we don't have precision. Okay, so let us try to change c to float. Okay, and from there we try to compile. After compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we are getting 3 again. So let us change a to be float, and we also change b to be float. Okay, float, and we set a to be 10.0, and 3 to be 3.0. Okay, and b to be 3.0. If we try to save and we try to compile, after compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get 3.33333, like that, recurring. Okay, so let us try to change the floats to be double. So just go where there is t after t, and then you press Ctrl D to select all the float, and we are going to change to a double, like that. Okay, so if we try to save and we go in the terminal and we try to compile, After compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get 3.3333, the same. Okay, so as you can see, that's it. We have another operator, another wonderful operator that is not mainly that's not commonly used in mathematics, which is called the modulus operator. Okay, so the modulus operators divides a number by a number and then it returns the remainder. It doesn't return the answer, okay, after dividing. Okay, it returns the remainder of that division operation. Okay, so let us try to use it. So that one is called the percentage. Is the percentage, guys. I think some of you quoted me of what I say, about what I say, that it's not commonly used in mathematics. Okay, so it's commonly used in mathematics, but when we are working with percentages. Okay, but we don't commonly use it to return remainders in mathematics. Okay, so let us try to change the forward slash, which is the division, to the modulus, which is the percentage sign. Okay, so from there, as you can see, a divided by b, a modulus b, what are we going to get? So here, as you can see, expression must be an integral or an scoped enum. Okay, so we should not use it with doubles or floats. Okay, so we should have an integral or integer values. Okay, we should be working with integer values. So let us try to do it again. We select, we use Control D like that, and then we change this one to be int, all of them to be integers, and then we try to save. As you can see, the error is gone. So if we try to compile, so 10 divided by 3, we are going to get 3 per remainder what? 3 remainder 1. Okay, so if we try to compile, as you can see, we get our remainder, which is 1. Okay, so I should note that division between integers produces an integer result. Okay, so let us take a look at another category, which are called the assignment operators. Okay, so assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. Okay, so we have been using these operators. Okay, we have been using one of them, which is called the equal sign, the equal to. Okay, so these operators make code shorter and easier to read. Okay, so for example, we have another one. So the first one is the equal to sign. Okay, we have another one, equal to operator. We have another one which is called the should I call it the increment, or yeah, should I call it the plus equal to? Yeah, I don't know the name I should give to these ones, but just know we have this one, which is the plus equal to. We have the plus equal to, but let us be working with another one. So let us create another variable called d, and let us set it to be equals to 5. From there, let us try to use the second operator, the second assignment operator, which is the plus equal. Okay, the plus equal. So if we say that d is plus equals to what? Plus equals to 3. What are we going to get? We are going to get 8. Okay, because so the previous d is equals to 5, and if we add a 3, so this line is the same as saying that we have d equals to the previous d, and we add a 3 on the previous d, and we store the final result in a new d. Okay, like that. So if we have this line, okay, and let us try to duplicate, we copy, and then we try to duplicate, and we create a variable. We change from int d, let us change to x, and we change this one to x, and we also change this one to x, and let us use our operator plus equal to 3. Okay, so I think now we are expecting to get the same values for x and d. Okay, the same value for x and d. So let us try to output our x. Okay, x, and let us try to output our d like that. But let us end line here on x so that we don't mix them. We save, we go back in the terminal, we try to compile. After compiling, we try to run. As you can see, we get 8 and 8. Okay, so that's it. We have another one which is called the minus equal to. Okay, minus equal to. So with the minus equal to, we just write it like that, minus equal to, and this one is the same as saying that we have x, which is equals to the previous x, then minus 3, like that. Previous x minus 3, then get all the result, store it in a new x, okay, like that. So we are expecting to get a 2 and we are going to get a 2. So even if we try to compare and we try to run, after running we try to run, as you can see we get a 2. Okay, so we have another one which is called the asterisk equal to, okay, or the multiply equal to. Okay, so with this one it's the same as having that code. Okay, so the previous x times 3, previous x is 5 times 3 we get 15. Okay, and we store 15 in x. So this one is the same as having our operator here. Okay, like that, our assignment operator there, like that. Okay, we have another one, you can try it out, is the division, divide equal to. So we are going to get 5 divided by 3, we get the result, then the result is going to be like 1 point something, yeah, and we store it in x. Okay, but because x is an integer, I think we are going to get a 1. Okay, so if we try to compile, after compiling we try to run, as you can see we get a 1. Okay, so there are some recurring and there are some numbers that we have not printed out, okay, because x is an integer. Okay, so we have another one which is called another category which are called the comparison operators. So comparison operators compare two values and return either true or false. Okay, so for example, let us try to delete all of this code. Let's try to delete, and let us have our int a, let us set it to be equals to 5, and let us have our int b, let us set it to be equals to 8. From there, let us try to use the comparison operator. So let us try to see out, console out, and let us have something like but before, let us have these braces, okay, those braces, and we say a equals to b. So this one is called the equal to, okay, the equal to comparison operator. Okay, so this one, all of this one is going to return true or false. Okay, so from there we can say that we can end our line like that. Okay, so if we try to save is so here we are checking if a equals to b. Okay, if a is not equals to b, we are going to return false. Okay, otherwise we are going to return true. So right here a is not equals to b because a is 5 and b is 8. So if we try to save and we try to compile, after compiling we try to run, as you can see we get a 0 which stands for false. Okay, so we have another one which is called the not equal to. So this one, the not equal to, we can use it like this. We use the exclamation mark and then a equal sign. Okay, so here we are checking that a is a not equals to b. Yeah, as you can see right now a is not equals to b, so we are going to get true. If we try to compare and we try to run, as you can see we get true, which is 1. Okay, so we have another one which is the greater than symbol. So the greater than symbol, if we can use it like that. So here we are checking is a greater than b. So right now it's false because a is 5 and b is 8, which means a is not greater than b. If we try to compare and then we run, as you can see we get false. Okay, we have another one which is called the less than symbol. So the less than, here we are checking that a is a less than b. So right now a is less than b because a is 5 and b is 8. We are going to get a true. Okay, so if we try to compare and we try to run, we get a 1 like that. Okay, so we have another one which is called the greater than or equal to, and we have the less than or equal to. You can try them out. So the less than or equal to is like that. Okay, and we have the greater than or equal to, which is like that, greater than or equal to. Okay, like that. So these are commonly used in decision making and loops. Okay, so we have another category which are called the logical operators, and these ones are used to combine conditions. Okay, so for example we have our first one, which is we have for example, let us change let us change it to be x, and let us change b to be y, and let us change x to be equals to true, and let us change y to be equals to false, like that. Okay, so from there let us now say that our x is our x and and. So this is called the and operator. Okay, and ampersand is called the and operator. So and why? So this and operator returns true if all our conditions, okay, but in this case we have our variables, okay, if all our variables are return true, okay, so but in this case they return false, so we are going to get false here, which means we are going to get a 0. So if we try to save and we try to compile, after compiling we try to run, as you can see we get false. But if we try to change y to be equals to true, so ampersand, which is the and, returns true if all the conditions or values returns true, okay. So if we try to compile and we try to run, as you can see we get a 1 because all our conditions or values return true, okay. And from there we have another one which is called the or. So the or returns true if one of them returns true, okay. So and if all of them returns false, then we are going to get false. So they all return true, which means we are going to return true, okay. So if we try to compile and we try to run, we are going to get true. Let us try to change one of them to false. We try to save and then we try to compile. After compiling, so it's only going to return false if all of them returns false. So if we return false like that, we try to save. After doing that, we try to compile. After compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get false. So these ones, they help us make decisions based on multiple conditions, okay. So we have another one, another opposite one, which is the not, okay, which is the not. So the not returns the opposite, okay. So for example, for the x we have false, okay. So we can change x to be true by just doing like this. We can say x, but we add the not equal to, which is the not, okay, the not. So the not returns the opposite of x. So x is false, so we are going to get the opposite of false, which is true, so we are going to get a 1. If we try to compile and we try to run, as you can see we get a 1, okay. So if x was true, then we are going to get the opposite of true, which is false. If we try to compile, after compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get a 0, okay. So we have another category which are called the increment and decrement operators. These operators increase or decrease a value by 1, okay. So for example, let us create a variable here. It's going to be an integer, and it's going to be called num. Let us set it to be equals to 5. From there, let us try to use the increment operator. So if we say num, and then we use our increment operator, which is the plus, and then we add a semicolon, and we try to see out, console out. Let us console out our num like that. If we try to save and we try to compile, after compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get 6. So here we have incremented our num from 5. We have just added a 1, okay, on the num, okay, which contains 5, okay. So let us Ctrl Z, okay. So let us take a look at another one, which is called the decrement operator. So the decrement operator, we use double negative signs, okay. So if we try to save and we try to compile, as you can see, we are going to get 4 because we get 5 and we subtract 1 and we store it in our num. As you can see, we get a 4, okay. So let us now take a look at the operator precedence. So when multiple operators are used together, C++ follows the operator precedence, okay. So multiplication and division are performed before addition and subtraction. So for those who know about body mass, try to master body mass because it will be helpful in future parts, okay, throughout your programming journey, okay. So that's it about operators. Try to enjoy them. They are really enjoyable and they are really important. Try to play with them.